Part two is you're offering your course in a format that's not really what your customers want. Now, what do I mean by that? So there are many different ways you can offer your online course. One way would be just online, do it yourself. People sign up and then they go through lesson one, lesson two. It could be video formatted. So it's a totally on your own with no assistance whatsoever from someone on the outside. Another format might be that you have a course very similar to the one I just described, but this one has a coached piece to it. So some people like to call them office hours. So you schedule office hours, let's say from 1 to 2 o'clock on Tuesdays, and then 4 to 5 o'clock on Thursdays, so that you can cover maybe the entire country if you're in the US. If you're trying to get the UK and the US, you can do other things. But you're adding an opportunity for people to ask questions, a way for people not to get stuck by giving them access to someone. Now, another piece that you can add to things is you could add a community, or let's say like a private Facebook group. There's also ways to do it. Another way to do it on the website, for example, we build a lot of sites with BuddyBoss, and BuddyBoss has social communities is what they call them, so that you can have a course, and then corresponding with that is a place where people who are in the course can talk to each other. And it's also a good place for the owner, the teacher, the person who's in charge can answer questions. Now, another format might be that you meet every, let's say, Wednesday from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, and the course is intended to be attended live with an instructor going through the materials, and possibly you make the recordings available in an archive or after the fact somehow, so that someone who misses a course doesn't completely miss out because they weren't there. And so you can see there are different ways that you can offer a course. Now, in our profitable online course building program, we have our course builders solicit surveys or ask surveys to volunteers, people who could be potential customers, and you ask them questions. And one of the questions that we for sure ask in there is, what format would you like? Because you'd be surprised. Some people are saying, look, I would prefer to just watch someone teach me via a Zoom call at the same time every week, so that I can interact with them. And they really want to be taught very classroom-like style. You might find other audience that are saying, look, I don't have time to meet with someone at a specific time. Maybe it's something that I need to do after hours because I can't do it during work hours. And so, maybe they put the kids to bed, and that's when they listen to your course videos. But at the same time, they don't want to be in complete Lone Ranger solo mode. They want to have the ability to ask questions. So they might want more of a do-it-yourself, listen to the course at your own pace during your own availability, but they also want to have the ability to ask questions. So one reason why people will release a course and then it doesn't sell is because they've offered it in the wrong mode or the wrong format. And here are the kind of things that buyers struggle with. A do-it-yourself course, especially if it's a topic that's more difficult or that requires feedback, starts raising objections in people's minds. They start thinking, well, I'm going to buy that thing. Is it going to be a waste of money because I'm going to get stuck and then I don't have a way to ask questions? Some people, like I said before, might come up and say, oh gosh, it meets Wednesday from noon to 1:30. I can never be available at that time, so this course is out for me. And you might have a bunch of people that are wanting to buy your course, but because it's not offered at the time that they can attend, they just don't want to be a part of it. So formatting your course so that it meets the needs of your customers is extremely, extremely important. One more formatting thing that I wanted to point out is when you offer a course like let's say the Wednesday from 12 to 1:30. If it's, let's say, a 12-week course, one of the problems you have with that format is that if it starts, let's say, September 1st and goes through, like, let's say, the end of October, if I want to join and it's October 1st, it's like, oh gosh, I got to wait until November. But November doesn't work for me because that runs into the holidays. It doesn't work for me. Another format that might be very helpful to your folks is offer a do-it-yourselfish sort of mode where you're offering video recordings of you teaching, and you allow people to jump in whenever they want, and your office hours or the time you make yourself available to answer questions answers the questions that everybody has. So I might be in lesson 2 and I'm asking a question about that, and then you have someone with lesson 8 in that same call. That can work if you don't have too many newbie users slowing down the people that are farther ahead. If that's a situation you have, maybe what you really want to do is to offer like an initial course that gets people, I want to say, some initial knowledge or some initial level of knowledge that then makes them not so newbie. Then you toss them into like the alumni or the intermediate group, where then the questions can be all over the place, so that if I'm taking 1 through 5, lesson 5 of the first part, you keep those people in one set of office hours, and then you have the more advanced people in another one. And that way, you won't have your more advanced people kind of like rolling their eyes going, oh, great, another newbie question. You're wasting my time. So you can address that problem just by cutting people up into 2 different spots. So reason number 2, why people sometimes have trouble with their online courses, that they're just not offering it in the right format. If you have any questions about that, feel free to comment below. I'm more than happy to give you a link to my calendar, and I'll answer your questions, no obligations. So it won't be a sales pitch. It won't be, I'm trying to get you to buy something. It's just, I'm ready to answer some questions, and, we'll get you past, the questions or the problems that might be slowing you down.